Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Good to see each and every one of these here. May y'all continue to bless us. And as we were last night, I want to continue to speak today here and compliment you on how special you are. You know, and the special become because of the fact that a lot of people can't do what you do. You know, and what that means is a lot of folks can't make that decision to want to do right. Got a lot of relatives. They know all about the Sabbath. I talked to them and I did all that. And then and hey, they just can't change. They just locked into that. And I'm pretty sure everyone in here, you got relatives you don't talk to about the Shabbat and you don't talk to them about the truth, and they just can't do it.
Mm-hmm. They will not do it. Amen. They won't. Amen. I take my push out with me. All them educated people I've noticed too.
Yeah. You know? But and that's why I say you are blessed people, because you were able to make that transition.
Sure.
You was able to do that. Now, of course, I ain't talking about our children, because our children didn't have a choice. Yes. See? Because after they raised up and everything and get on their own, then now it falls back on them. Become that special people.
Amen. Amen.
Okay? Amen. And I hate to say this, our children ain't, huh?
The record ain't looking too good.
There you go. That's what I'm trying to say. The record ain't looking too good for me. But we're still praying and we're doing what God told us to do. Train up a child in the way that it should go. We're going to do our part. See? And then hopefully they will have enough time to get it straight. We'll also take this time to welcome in all our listeners, those that's in Israel, those that's in Canada, those that's in the Philippines, and the USA, and where you might be picking us up on the internet. Enter into our house, where our motto, foundation of peace and love. Shalom ve'ahava. And upon these two principles, when we learn how to live accordingly, a lot of these things that's happening now will not be happening. They are now call them hate crimes, and they're doing all these things here because of the point of it is that our minds is set wrong, and we've been educated and we've been groomed with the wrong aspect of things. And then it causes you to make bad decisions. Okay? Therefore, we need to learn how to do that. We need to learn how, and is the principle of God's kingdom. As I said before, He's not going to have anybody sitting in this kingdom can't stand to look at one another.
Amen.
Okay. Can't stand to be around Him.
Hallelujah.
You still in your little corner, and I still in my corner. Don't say nothing to me, and I don't say nothing to you, and we'll be all right. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. And whoever's harboring that in their hearts and mind is gonna take you on out of there. Right? Yeah, but I ain't the one that got the problem. The other person got the problem. Yeah, but if you're harboring from that attitude, you got the problem. And therefore, still tell them, it's not a popular thing as yet, but it's beginning. It's beginning to kind of turn. When we first started coming out with this peace and love that we've been talking about, we really caught it. We really got all about it and said all kinds of stuff. But now, even some of them are moving around and changing their tune now. See? Because, truth is going to stand. That's what Della Maxwell always taught us. He said, it'll last. But these other things, they'll pop up for a while, but they'll fade out.
Amen. Amen.
So let's stick with that there. That it might be well with us on that end there. So peace and love is the way. And if you want to come and build our future upon that hope, fine, you'll do good here. But as I tell folks, it's not going to be too good here in this house if you get that other attitude. It just ain't going to work. See? And we've had people come and say, well, y'all talk too much about this and y'all say too much about that then, and I just can't stand that. Okay, well, we ain't got no change on nobody, and we ain't locking no doors and holding them in. Hey, you want to go? Go. See? But where we want to go and what you want to run to, just like I tell all the Hebrew Israelite brothers that I'm meeting in there, they talk all this stuff and say all this things on. I say, but hey, you still got to deal with Jerusalem. You got to still deal with Jerusalem. And that's what we represent. Amen. So you can go wherever you want to go, run around wherever you want to do, go and all that, but you still going to have to come back. You still going to have to face that.
And also the king.
Because it's Yah's choice.
Amen. Also the king. Amen.
It ain't, people think that it's the branch of Jerusalem choice.
It's not.
It's Yah's choice.
Hallelujah.
And we just recognize it and saw it in the word there and recognized it and said, hey, look, we're going to get on the train. We're going to get on this. This is the train we're going to get on. Amen. This is the bus we're going to get on. Yeah. And blessed are you that have made that choice. Because it's a good choice. On that end there. So as we go forward, Yah's proving it more and more that his word is going to prevail. All right, so let's get our tally talks. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitchenu b'mitzvotav b'tzivanu l'chit l'tit b'tzitzit. Blessed be the Lord our God, King of the universe, and sanctified us by our commandment and commandments concerning and wrapping ourselves in tzitzit. Okay, that's the rest of Steen. You should give me. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which you have broken may rejoice. Cast me not away from your presence, and take not your Holy Spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of your salvation, and uphold me with your free spirit. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. What you have to do. I ask you to turn now and face the Holy City in this direction here. For our opening to fill our opening prayer, the Kohen Baraka, and the Shema in Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Blessed be the Lord our God, King and ruler of the universe. My Father, we come in today. Thank you for your health and strength. Thank you for each and every one of this year. Thank you for those that are able and had their minds set this way and was able to come and to fulfill their desires. And we just ask that those that who are sick among us are not able to do it, you will give them healing. We look unto you for our healing, whether it is spiritual healing or physical healing, or whether we need both physical and spiritual healing. We know nothing is impossible with you. Therefore, we look unto you for those things. We also thank you for sending your son.
Thank you. Thank you.
Didn't give up on us, but went all the way.
All the way.
Shed of his blood, that we might have an opportunity to get into the glorious promise and plans for those that love you and keep your commandments. Amen. We also pray for the DC Jerusalem. Yes, in a blessing and prosper her. Keep our leaders strong. Keep our sisters and brothers safe there and comforted as well. And that we might all have a share in what you're doing in these last days. Bless my mouth. Bless our ears. Bless those things we just said will be what you want me to say. Yes. That we might add to our knowledge and be not amongst your people that perish for lack of knowledge. Continue to bless us. We go further in this service. All these blessings I ask in thy son's name. Yeshua HaMashiach, the man whose name is the branch. Amen.
Amen.
At this particular time, you should be near a Bible, preferably the complete Jewish Bible, for our Kohen Barak, which is found on page 153. If you don't have that, that's Numbers, the 6th chapter. I will read the 23rd verse. Then you can read and quote the 24th through the 27th together. Speak to Aaron and his sons, and tell them that this is how you are to bless the people of Israel. You are to say unto them all together, Yivarakah Adonai Vayisharakah. May Adonai bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai Panah Yilakah Abizikah. May Adonai make his face shine on you and show you his favor. Yisah Adonai Panah Yilakah. Ve'asim Shalom. May Adonai lift up his face towards you and give you peace. In this way, they are to put my name on the people of Israel, so that I will bless them. Hallelujah. 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 As you join in with the Shema in Hebrew. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Le'olam Va'ed Le'olam Va'ed Now, if you would get your Bibles and turn to page 204 in the complete, which is Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter, 4th to the 9th verse will be the verses that we'll be reading. The first two verses, 4 and 5, is what we said in the Hebrew, not the Hebrew. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Hear Israel, Adonai God, Adonai is one, and you are to love Adonai your God with all your heart, all your being, and all your resources. These words which I am ordering you today are to be on your heart, and you are to teach them carefully to your children. You are to talk about them when you sit at home, when you're traveling on the road, when you lie down, and when you get up. Tie them on your hands as a sign. Put them at the front of a headband around your forehead, and write them on the door frames of your house and on your gates. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. It also says you to go to page 1279 in the complete, which is Mark the 12th chapter, 28 to the 31st verse, and see what the Mashiach had to say concerning the same subject. One of the Torah teachers came up and heard them engage in this discussion. Seeing that Yeshua answered them well, he asked him,
Which is the most important mitzvah of them all?
Yeshua answered, the most important is Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one, and you are to love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your understanding, and with all your strength. The second is this: you are to love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other mitzvah greater than these. Hallelujah. 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 Should we don't receive a song at this time? If not, there's one. Give it to you. O Lord God of Israel, Lord God of Israel, there is no God like thee. There is no God like thee in the earth. O Lord God of Lord God of Israel, there is no God like thee. There is no God like thee. Oh, Lord God of Israel. Hallelujah. And He has shown His mercy. God keeps covenant and He shows mercy unto thy servants that walk before thee with there is no God like thee. There is no God like thee. Glory! Oh, Lord God of thank you. And show His mercy every day unto thy servants that walk before thee. There is no God like thee in the earth. There is no God like thee in the earth. Oh, Lord God of hallelujah. Oh, Lord God of hallelujah. Hallelujah. Our God is on His way to prove just that. Amen. That's what He's going to do to the whole world. Yes, yes. See? He's going to prove it. Mm-hmm. Actually, we say the whole world, but it even goes beyond that. Right. Because the angels is learning. Right. Oh, yeah. The angels is involved. Mm-hmm. Other planets and other people and other creatures, all they learning that. Yeah. Therefore, once again, you don't have a chance unless you at least get started on the right pathway to understanding these things. And the first thing you do it is just like any kind of relationship. See, at least that's the way it was in our day. The way we liked and everything there. We whispered around until we find out, and we want to know what her name was. Right?
That's right.
See?
Yeah.
So when we want to break the ice and everything, you know, you don't want to go over there and call them the wrong name, boy. That don't. Nowadays, oh, well, that's a whole different story altogether. You call them almost anything now. Oh. Back in my days, of course, that was back in ancient days, as they say. It wasn't like that. See, so it is with our God. And he has a name. And if you want to get to know his name. And he wants you to understand very important about that. But if he wouldn't tell us, if someone were to tell you, you just couldn't sit there and look at somebody. She looked like a Linda to me. Or she looked like a shepherd, or she looked like a Corrine. No. You just can't look at somebody, you know. At least let me correct myself. I haven't been able to do that. Now there might be some people that can look at us and just do that there and just look at them and know what their name is. I can't. I can't do that. But I'm gonna tell you something. It is something ironic though. I found out that certain ladies' names and stuff do go with certain characteristics. They have some similar type of characteristics. Some of them do, well, not all now, but they do some. Yes.
Years ago, I did ask the girl what's her name when she said pudding. Said pudding came. I said pudding would give me a name. She can play around with that, you know, with those games, you know. So I said, okay, forget that. She don't want. She not interested.
See, you didn't catch the hints.
Yeah.
Some of us hard to catch the hints. She's trying to tell you in a nice way, leave me alone, you're wasting my time.
Just leave me alone.
Yeah. She's trying to tell you in a nice way, right? Some of us, we don't give up too easy, you know. You got to come on out and just say, hey, we don't take them hints. See.
I took the hint.
You didn't take the hint, you know. Okay, yeah. When you come up with some strange names like that, you pretty well know what it is.
Every time you tell her, just put your time.
I asked her for a number. She gave me a number, though, but when I called it was the wrong number. I said, okay, I get the hint now.
Sometimes persistence pays off.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes
I
it
gave
does.
up too quick, huh?
Yeah, sometimes, you know. But, it's nice to be able to kind of, like I told y'all, I might as well move on. I didn't take the hint. Well, she really didn't give me a bad hint, She just kind of, I know she wasn't just kind of going along with what I was saying there. So finally, I kind of pressed it a little further now. Then she just come and look up. I like guys that I got to look up to. And then she was down, kind of looking down at me, see, while she talking at them. In other words, hey, that was her perfect purpose. She like tall guys, She like a guy taller than her. And here I am, barely, she kind of looked down at me. And I know I wasn't going to be no grown. All the time. So I said, well, thank you for this. It's time to move on. Everybody have their preferences. Do you know God have his preference? People don't think that. They can just come to God any way they want to, any kind of way they want, and God got to accept them any kind of way. No,
No.
not the God of Israel.
Amen.
He have preferences.
Amen.
See? And if you don't meet him, he ain't desperate.
Amen.
But he do have. Extol him who rides on the clouds by his name, Yah. What we have up on our banner truth here, Y-A-H, Yah. Over the years, boy, we've been dealing with this for years, and when we first started really stressing this and all that, and saying those things, boy, people thought we was, because they were so used to all this other stuff and everything. But no, guess what? Now people are coming around. Yeah.
I know you used to tell us, this all the time concerning God's name. And online I seen a Hebrew Israelite, I guess he, pastor or whatever. And he put a post up, he said, how can you have a personal relationship with Yah and you don't know his name? So it made me remind what you said.
Yeah, right.
Okay, right. And then I went ahead. It was funny.
But here he says, by his name Yah, and be glad in his presence.
Hallelujah. Amen.
And the only way that you're going to be glad in his presence, is, dear folks, is that you have to learn about him. Because let me tell you something, he ain't easy to be glad in his presence.
That's right.
He's not. He told our ancestors, 100% Israelites. See? He said, I can't stand your presence. He said, I can't stand your presence. That's right. See, I'm gonna have to destroy y'all.
It's a God. It's been about like us. You know our hearts too.
So therefore, it's a task, You just because you're Israelite, don't mean that you automatically know what it takes.
That's right.
Here's the only thing that I got a problem with my Hebrew Israelite brothers. It's coming on up, and I've been dealing with this for years with them. All of a sudden they realize, and they call out, the blood, I got the blood, I got the blood, I'm with this and I'm with that. That's if that's but that's just only the beginning.
Suppose you move to somewhere in Africa and you over there still keeping Simon. But you left the United States. You feel like this is Babylon. And I've been out of Babylon, so you move in Africa somewhere.
Yeah.
And still keeping Simon.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to get at right now. Just knowing this, and there are people that think that just because they don't come to the knowledge by his name now. Oh yeah, and they think that's all they do. No, that's the beginning of it. That's what I try to tell folks that. Just like in our day, when you find out that girl's name and everything that you was interested in, and then and deal with her, and then those things there. Sometimes I saw a girl and everything there when I went to start talking to her, man. Hey, I couldn't run away fast enough. I couldn't run away fast enough, right? Because she wasn't enough what I thought, hey, I just be going on looks and everything there, boy. When the words started coming out, she started talking, that character come out. I said, oh, no. I'm already in reverse trying to get out of this now. How do I get into this? And so that's what I tell folks. When you learn about the God of Israel, in one case there, I had a certain thing, and I was that And I was that witness, and then they called me up to be a witness there and all that there. So when talked to the lawyer, and I was talking to the lawyer there, and when I talked to the lawyer, he called the guy and said, hey, look, you don't want this guy to be a witness. He said, you don't. He said, no, we ain't using him for no witness. He said, because this guy gonna hurt your case rather than help it. He said, I don't know what you thinking about anyway. How you think it's? I tried to tell him at first, I said, no, you don't want me as no witness. Because I told him I ain't gonna do no lying. That's all I did. I said, I ain't gonna do. I'm not gonna get up on the witness stand and do no lying. So the lawyer asked me 2 or 3 questions. And when I gave him the answer, he said, no. He said, no. He didn't hurt my feelings, no. I said, hey. I said, well, I tried to tell the first grade that I. So here it is. God said, you are my witnesses, Adonai. You're going to have to get your act together to be his witness. See? You can't go around here doing everything he done said, not doing all that thing. You think he's talking about you as being his witness? You think you representing him? You think you're good for him? No. And that's why I got a lot of these guys running around there hollering, oh, he do this, I'm with this, and I'm with that, and all those things. I say, yeah, you might be, but you ain't acceptable.
Hallelujah.
You might be that, because they count on the blood. So what? You still ain't acceptable. Here he says, you are my witnesses, Adonai, and my servant whom I have chosen, so that you can know and trust me.
Hallelujah.
What if you don't do that, but you got the blood? What about it? You don't qualify.
Not accepted. Amen. Good.
As I've always tell them, I said, how did we get kicked out of the land?
We ran out of blood.
Ran out of obedience. They gave the land of Sabbath, and that did it. It was already bad enough. We didn't get a land of Sabbath, and that was obedience.
We got ran out of the land because we didn't qualify.
That's right. Well, I agree. It's okay.
Yeah. We didn't qualify. That's it.
That's true.
He says here, and what is the qualification? You got to know and trust me. And understand that I am he. What do you mean by that? No God was produced before me, nor will any be after me. And I always give a definition of what I'm saying here, and that's what God let me know. But hey, our folks didn't hold to that. Some of them, boy, they had all kind of gods. See? Made of everything. They looked at their saucer, man. Boy, they look like they doing all right with that God. Hey, let's get it too. Then some of them start altering God's word. I told y'all how they start altering it in their interpretation of things, right? They said, they read in there where it says, thou shalt have no other gods before me. And there they were sitting there with all kind of gods. And they said, well, brother, how you justify having all these gods? Well, hey, brother, you ain't understanding the scripture right. Read what it says there. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. I don't have before him. I just have them, but they ain't before him.
And after him.
Y'all before all these other gods. And And they justified themselves in it. No wonder God kicked them out the land.
Amen.
That's just plain stupid.
Huh?
I said, that's just plain stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. But many of them went that way. You read the scripture there. One group got so bad that God said, Ephraim got. Some folk, when you start talking with them and they get so far out of left field and everything, you just have to just say, hey, look, I hate. Have you ever been talking to folks and they so far out of line with it, you don't even know how to,
Amen.
you don't even know how to come up with them.
How to approach him. That's right. Amen.
Talk long enough, they start making you sound like you stupid.
Yeah.
Amen.
Right.
Wrong company.
And so that's what God said, hey, just leave him alone. But here he says, yes, I am Adonai. I'm the owner. Beside me there is no deliverer. I have declared, said, and proclaimed, not some alien God among you. Now that's very good. That prophet had to come along years later and tell them gods, they're alien gods, and they ain't supposed to be among you at all. How would you fall for this interpretation? Why would you? We fall for those things because that's what we want to see things. That seems to be, hey, that's total what the. So the prophet had to come along and straighten them out. See? 100% original Israelites. And God got to chastise and get them straight. And let them know. You ain't supposed to have no alien gods among you. Why would God even tell them that? Because they had them among them. The prophet had to come along and tell them you ain't supposed to have none among you. Therefore, you are my witness, says Adonai. I am God. And as I tell folks, if you can't meet God's criteria and you can't supply him with what he needs you for.
Okay.
It's just like on your job. The reason why you got a job ain't because of where you look. See? Well, I might have to fudge that a little taste. You know. But most of the jobs there, hey, is because you are able to take care of a job that they want done. And if you can't do that job, you're going to be out of there. See? Therefore, Yah said, you're my witness that I am God. And that I am, he's the only one. And that's why Satan come along with this Trinity and everything to really lock folks into it, to get them locked all up and thinking 3 and 2 and all of that, anything except what God said. Isaiah 44, 6 to 8 says, Israel's king and redeemer, Adonai Zevaot. I am the first and I am the last. There is no God. He didn't say there wasn't no God. He said besides me. So he let you know that he is a God. There are people who are talking about, ain't no such thing as a God. Right here he says, besides me, there is no God. He goes on to say it. Let him speak out. Let him show me clearly what is happening. Since I set up the eternal people, let him foretell future signs and events. Don't be frightened. Don't be afraid. Didn't I tell you this long ago? I foretold it, and you are my witnesses. Is there any God besides me? Israel, is there any God beside our God?
No, I know not any.
Israel, is there any God beside our God?
No, I know not any.
He said, is there any God besides me? He said, there is no other rock. I know of none. And if our God don't know of any, What in the world we run around and hollering about we know some more? See, they are all false and idol gods. But they're not true God. There's only one true living God. And that's the God of who?
Israel.
Israel.
Right.
See?
Right.
And let's keep that in mind. Well, what about Jesus? You know, the Christians, they holler about Jesus. Hmm? And I tell them, if this is talking about the same person that we're talking about, if it's talking about the same one, of course his name is not Jesus, we know that. Many of them don't know that. See? But they're beginning to understand that and know that now for a fact and all those things. You know. I even had I was listening to Creflo Dollar, and he was talking about how he thought Jesus was his first name and Christ was his last name.
Did you say you thought that?
Oh yeah. Right.
You know.
When I was, you know, y'all, hey,
Yeah.
I got a first name and a last name. Lord, everybody else I know got a first name and a last name. So when I hear Jesus Christ, hey, I thought that was the same thing. Hey, you got a first name and a last name. I thought that's what it was. Jesus was his first name and Christ was his last name.
And every time somebody would say that, they say, Jesus Christ.
That's not true. None of that whole, see, that's what I'm talking about. We look at things from the Western side of things.
Yep.
We look at from the Western view of things and our interpretations and all. And boy, well, yeah, you're right if you're going to use that interpretation, but that your interpretation is not how the Bible was written.
That's right.
See? And you're not going to get the true understanding of it unless you get it from the how it was written from. Therefore, he tells us here that John 5:30, listen to the man speak and talk about himself. I can't do a thing on my own. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Does that sound like a God? Don't sound like no God to me. And what kind of God would that be that he can't do nothing on his own?
False.
It's like these other gods that the pagans have. If the God got to go somewhere, you got to pack
Pick
it.
it up. Yeah.
He locked up.
I still can't get over that. How you fix your mouth to say that there.
Release our God up to it.
Uh-huh. Oh, yes.
And the God that.
Yeah. And God died. They was enabled to imprison him and then turn around and then he died. But he said, I can't do a thing on my own. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is right because I don't seek my own desire. What kind of God is that don't even seek his own desire? But the desire of the one who sent me, he let you know that somebody was above him. There is no one above our God. Therefore, don't you understand that? He answers to no one.
Amen. Amen.
And he does whatever he pleases.
Hallelujah. That's my God.
That's our God.
That's the truth.
And that's why I say you better be careful how you say, how you talk, and how you do around our God.
Amen.
Because he ain't nothing to play with.
Oh, that's right.
He ain't nothing to play with. And it don't matter whether it's one person or a nation. Didn't have us running around here lying and saying this. Them Chaye-Sarahs, they kicked us out of the land and took our land. Lying. Both is a lie. See? Therefore, we need to get this thing right here so we can be in favor with him. John 6:43 and 44. Yeshua answered them, stop grumbling to each other. No one can come to me unless the Father. So all these folks, you see how the devil got the Christians messed up? I ain't deal with that old father, that Old Testament. No, you ain't got no better. He said, no one come to me.
Amen.
You won't. And think you got me. You got another thing coming.
Amen.
But that's exactly what they believe.
So, was Marcion, was he kind of like Constantine, like make laws?
Yeah, Marcion was one of the great leaders that taught that the Old Testament, the God of the Old Testament, was a cruel and bondage God and everything. But Jesus, New Testament God, he's a God of love. That old God of the Old Testament, that God was a God, and he says, unless the Father who sent me draws him. That kills that all together.
Right.
That's why you got a bunch of these churches running around there hollering about New Testament, so and so.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen them on there?
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of them speak the neighbor, but they don't really know where they got it from. But that's where it got it. So you see, New Testament, so and so church. New Testament Christ. But dear folks, this is in the New Testament that's making these statements. This is in the New Testament that's making the statements. And he said, nobody come to me, see, except the Father draws him. And why would the Father draw you if he ain't pleased with you?
Amen.
So you got to please the Father.
Amen. Amen.
Right?
Amen.
You think you're a cult for testifying and believing what the Son said? And then you think that you got a personal relationship with him. Come on, yeah. I said, wait a minute. Who are you? I don't know who you is. I told you greater than I am, and you said that I was lying. That's exactly what the Trinity is saying, right? I've heard them say it many times, and that's why at one time, when we were first going to do this, we would call ourselves Christians.
Right.
But after I finally really got realized what they were saying there, they said, hey, look, the fundamental teaching of Christianity is the Trinity. I said, count me out. Yep. So people come ask me, you a Christian? No, I'm not a Christian. I'm glad anyway now because I found out I'm Israelite. Don't mean that I don't believe in the Mashiach. I don't believe in Christ, the anointed one. Okay? But I want us to understand those things there so that we can get it right. See, he said his Father is greater than. The Trinity says no. The Father, he's God, the Son, and God, both Father, then the Son, and then everything else on there. No, not that. No, that's exactly what the Son said it is. You think he will come and deny his own words? And let me tell you something. I hunted all when I first started that thing. That slapped me down, boy. Man, I hunted all the scriptures and all the translations and all everything, trying to find who that wrote it. They made a mistake. All of them translated the right way and everything. I ain't seen no problem. You become wise. Did you know that?
Amen.
You don't become wise by refusing correction. You become wise by accepting correction.
Right.
Amen.
Right?
That's right.
That's right. Be rejected, become food.
And that's why I tell us, be a person that is able to be corrected. You're on your pathway to being wise.
Amen.
Because therefore we ain't born wise.
Right. Choice.
And of course, it's wise I'm talking about because, I have to clarify it up because the English language is because, hey, our children, they're born wiser than what we were when we was born. They actually, I don't know, it's just because, well, maybe because of the atmosphere. They got little kids now. That play on these apps and these games and stuff and all that stuff. And they put some of it else to shame. And I heard a lot of them say, man, where did you learn how to do that? Hey, my little kids told me.
Exactly.
My little kids showed me how to do that, taught me how to do that.
And young too.
Yeah.
2 years old, 3 years old.
I finally stepped on out of old age and everything. It was my daughter that taught me.
Yeah. This little fellow was just going to town up in there. I said, wow, they're on stage. Woo. God, love God. That's the oldest one. Oh,
Yeah, I remember. I really kind of hurt my feelings. I had some games on my computer there, and I hadn't got very far on the skills on where was that, and man, it was just fun. And so my little niece came over there. Tina came over there. She was much younger than me. She come over there, and so I had her on the game. And I said, hey, show me this game here. And I said, well, Ron, I'm gonna show you how to do it. And she was on that thing, tearing that thing up, man. And she done went way past what I could have been doing. I thought I was gonna have to show her and everything there. And she done got on that and went way on past what I done did. I had to stop and say, hey, show me how you show me how to.
That's true because they are very wise in the natural things. They are. The things they just.
Well, that's why I say I have to change. That's why I have to say I have to change wisdom. It's all what kind of wisdom you talking about.
Knowledge.
Yeah, that's true.
We just didn't learn this overnight. I mean, we grew up in this. I mean, we had to grow up. Nobody just give that to us. Sure, we babies. That's what they
Yep.
But we have to learn. We learn. So they got to learn too.
Amen. There you go. And therefore, study to show yourself approved. See, put your application in those things there, and it'll bring forth out. But therefore, he said, "Learn of me," and when we learn of him, will work out for us, and they will be in our favor. One of the things that, as I said before, we're living in the end of the world. When tragedy do happen, certain things do take place that happens, and we trust that hopefully. Let this world be guided with favor. Let the sons of Zion rejoice in their King. Let them sing praises to him, the King as alive. When you let my heart get to love.
Let the high praises of Yah be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hands. Praise Yah, Lord, the Son is the congregation of the righteous. Hallelujah! Yah is raising up his people that will follow him in his wall. We have Yah in the description of the man of truth. We have the 12 tribes of Israel and the 12 apostles of Lamb. This is Yah's domain. Hallelujah. Woo! He's glad in our maker. He rejoices. Let thy will be done in earth and in the earth. And you will bless the Lord. Yes, he did. Praise to the Lord. I'm reaching up the right. So let's will praise him. Praise to the Lord. I'm reaching up the right. Israel is his dominion. This is universal restoration. Action of Yah on the hearts of Israel. Glory. Jesus like the day star arise in our hearts. Praise our God Yah forevermore. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Woo. Bow on him.
In our Israel update, we trust that you all keep watching, and things are surely happening. You know, we do these things to draw your attention to what is going on, that you too might be watching.
The one that wasn't paying attention.
Right.
He got rid of those.
Yeah.
But the one that was lying around, that's the one paying attention. That's the one he hit.
The one who reached down with his hand and brought it up in his mouth. Those are the ones that kept. The ones that went down like this. They got rid of them.
The enemy can sneak behind you.
Yeah. In other words, the one that was not only taking care of satisfying his thirst, but also he was watching and looking and observing of what was going on around him. One that was alert.
They know they had their head buried in that.
Yeah, you buried, you can't see nothing. Then the enemy walk up on you and drown you and everything. He said, no, all them that was down there came in and I just, no, send them back. They ain't ready.
That's been going on.
It's gonna be going on a lot.
Yeah, then you'd have been a reject of the army.
what I'm saying is that y'all want us to be alert soldiers.
Yeah. Amen.
We want you to do those other things, but be alert. Watch what's going on. Look around and be aware of what's going on. And that's what the Israel update does for us.
Information.
That's what's going on, and then I observing of the news.
And he done already told us to watch and pray always.
Right.
You get kind of worthy.
Because there's some very terrible stuff that's going to come up on the earth. You understand? Like, I don't like anything. Hey, I'll kill you now. Whoa.
You only got to tell me one thing.
But therefore, dear folks, these are things that we're dealing with in these last days and those things, yeah. But the whole central thing of it is that we are living in a time when it's really exploding and going forward. The United States, they put all of the sanctions on Iran.
What happened?
Really? There's some thousands coming toward the U.S.
They done reimpose all the sanctions that they had on Iran. They done completely undo the Obama deal.
Well, that's why
Yeah.
Obama did it.
Right, with Iran to stop them from their nuclear thing, and then say they're going to, well, and they in exchange, Obama took off the sanctions and everything. Well, Trump done put them right back on again. I say, we imposed them all on. He walked out on the deal about a year ago. He said that was a terrible deal. Walked out on the deal and everything. Now he done put all the sanctions on them and everything. And so, but here's the problem. He done that, and now he done got his allies with him. France and Germany and the UK and all that say, hey, we ain't going along with that.
How you going to put it?
Okay?
How you going to put it?
Well, he said that anybody that'll go against him, he gonna bring sanctions against them.
What?
Yeah, he said that before the time, before he did that, when he first pulled out.
Trying to tell y'all the dollar's about to collapse.
See?
No.
Yeah.
I know people in Iran saying they can't buy groceries, but they groceries that shot up triple high, man. So they can't hardly making it. The meat market talking about going out of business because he can't afford to raise the price to sell it to the people. He can't afford to buy it, boy. And
That's Iran.
I think so, yeah.
But don't they create more terrorism when you have that kind of situation? And now you're making people more angry with you. They're willing to now do something to you that when they were moderate, now they become more radical in the sense that, hold on here. For my kids starve and all that stuff there, then I want to commit this act to make sure that he don't. You see, it creates more problems than it does solutions. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Netanyahu said he praised Trump for doing that. He said
Well, yeah. That was one of the reasons why he got Netanyahu. So even they come up with these ideas and they come up with these things that, hey, and then you get somebody to come along and say, hey, no.
So true.
And we see that now. We see that now in the races for voting now. Their number one thing on it, I'm getting rid of Obamacare. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
We're going to get rid of all of it.
Yeah.
We ain't saving nothing. We're going to repeal everything and start all afresh. Well, they ain't did that. And guess what now? The Republicans are saying.
We like Obamacare.
Yeah! Yeah, we ain't against Obamacare. We think you can keep so and so. Why? Because the people said, you ain't taking my precondition.
Right.
You talking about war?
You ain't taking my so and so away. So now the Republicans found out that, hey, We about to get forward a lot here and stuff there. We better start changing. Now they're changing the tune now. Talking about we was never against that. Well, but one lady blasted them down. She said, "Wait a minute. You say you never was against that? No, we always been for that." He said, "Well, then you voted 70 times, I think, to repeal everything about Obamacare.
Yeah.
Don't you know that was the heart of Obamacare was preconditioned?" Because I remember that there. I remember a certain person there, I'll call his name, but he had all kind of trouble because he had a preconditioned heart problem, and he could not get no insurance. I don't care what the price, but he could not get no insurance.
And it's not fair that he can't get none.
But until Obamacare come along and passed it and everything there, and now he could get it.
You know,
And when you start talking about you gonna do everything, so that's what I'm saying. But people will lie and people will change stuff and all those things there. And so now the Republicans are trying to get you all convinced now to vote Republicans because hey,
you know, Obamacare is Mr. Obama didn't sit down and talk. That's actually under the Romneycare. Romneycare came from Massachusetts. He used that same pattern from the Romneycare to make his work. That's how they came about. Then he just put his name and pattern with it. But it all came in.
well, it's actually called the Affordable Care.
That's right. It all came from that. It came from that.
And
then
Mitch
when they
McConnell,
did
how
this
many?
thing, they don't want it.
How many? Yeah.
Yeah.
They all love the Affordable. And then when the guy told him, "Well, do you know that the Affordable Care that you talk about you love and everything there and all that stuff, that is the Obamacare?" What? See, so this is why I'm saying, this is why we need to be aware of certain things, but also of what's going on in the world there, folks. God has said he was gonna bring Russia back into it. You know, people say, well, they don't say Russia, it says God, and they argue with me about it and all that. But it certainly sure looks that way to me that that's who it is. He said, I'm gonna put hooks in him, I'm gonna bring you back, and you're gonna be of these nations. Dear folks, that's exactly what Russia is doing in Syria right today.
And Iran.
Yes. They're being a guard for them. They done warn Israel because Israel was flying over there with expedient because they didn't have to worry about nothing. Their anti-aircraft stuff wasn't up to snuff, and they didn't have no air force that could deal with them and everything else. So they just went over there and time they wanted to over there and in Syria did whatever they wanted to do and everything there and all that there. And so, but when they messed around and get that Russian and kill them pilots over there, Russia said, hey, look, you got to back it up here. You got to up our folks. Then that's when the thunder system started going over there. And now they even said it, telling them warning even more now. Yeah, we got this system up now, but there's gonna be some places where you can't be flying over no more like you used to do out there. We warn you, don't breach this area no more. Tense, what are they acting like? They're acting like a god, and that's exactly what the Bible said that God would do. Would come over there and those nations, and Syria is one of the nations that they talk about. You read it there in the book of Ezekiel. He said he's going to bring them back and he's going to be a God. We're living in these days right now, dear folks and people. If you don't know Bible prophets, if you don't know these things and you're not watching what's going on, you're going to. All these things have to do, as he said, about your almighty dollar, greenback, and those things. That's what their thoughts and all that. But nevertheless, these are the problems that's going forward. And it has escalated even higher now. But all nations, and that's exactly what he means.
Yeah.
Amen.
That's what he's doing. And ain't nothing they can do otherwise about it.
Wouldn't it be fair to say that y'all is taking all nations against a righteous nation or against a crooked nation?
Who makes that determination as whether it's right? Right.
Would y'all?
I certainly can't.
He's the one that holds the balance, and he can see the wickedness.
And that's what I'm saying. But who's to say that? Who's to make that determination? You, me,
No.
Hebrew Israelites? I sure don't trust them, and I don't trust myself.
Yeah, but if you know, the scripture, you know the reason why he bring it.
Well, yes, it's against Jerusalem. It's supposed to be enough.
Well,
it's a crooked first generation.
I'm gonna say this here, then we're gonna move on.
Yeah.
God doing this, not because you're righteous. He said, I'm doing it for my name's sake.
Right, that's it.
See, so that's why I said we can't jump up here and we gotta know all what God is doing and how God look at this whole thing. We just look at it from one little side and that's a wicked nation. That's what people say about Jerusalem right today. They say, I know God ain't dealing with that old nation over there, all that fighting and all that stuff. God ain't got nothing to do with that. I heard him tell me that. Yeah, over there, no.
The world.
See? Don't God know all those things? Yeah, but that's, hey. But he still said that he's gonna do those things. He said to Israel, he's gonna tell them, it ain't because of your righteousness. Don't you get puffed up thinking it's all your righteousness and you all know that.
That's what I'm saying. Let's make that clear.
He says, because of my name's sake, I'm doing this.
Right.
So if you're gonna sit up there and say, well, God ain't in this here because they ain't righteous, you fool around and have yourself out against God, thinking that you
He said,
yeah.
pray for peace.
That's exactly right. And if he said that he's gonna do those things just because of his name's sake, he let me know right off the bat it ain't because of their righteousness.
Right.
Peace, Jerusalem.
Right.
Pray for the peace of Jerusalem.
Right. I pray for the peace of Jerusalem, but not for PV.
See?
He's a crook.
Not for who?
Not for BB. I don't pray for him. The president of Israel. I'll pray for him.
Well, that's your decision. I
don't
do
pray for wicked people.
Oh,
I pray for the peace of Jerusalem.
I pray for our leaders too.
That's what
Yeah. So here, I do pray for.
Well, he tells us to love our enemies too.
Yep.
Do we love our enemies?
Yep.
I'm not saying you can't pray for them.
If you want to pray for them, fine. I mean, don't make it wrong.
Here's the thing that we got to understand and see. Some things we get ourselves. God have not asked us to be that make those decisions. But that's what people very careful and touchy about what we form against it and everything there, because God is the one that's controlling this, and whichever way He does it is the way that He does it. See? And whoever He chooses to do it and everything, that's His business.
Yeah, but I think the United States got more wicked and stuff going on over here than ever got going on over
Well, they're equal brothers. How was that?
this place here, boy, it's not there.
They're equal. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, for the sort of leaders, I pray for the peace of Jerusalem.
Okay. All right. Well, I do otherwise.
Me too.
All right then. And the reason for all those things, but we all have a part with it, and that's what I'm saying. Pray that your part be a good part, because God is dealing with us all in those things here, and good leads for some bad parts. It depends on what we think and how because of the point of it, to you there and in that position, You know, we gotta be kind of very careful. That's all I'm saying on that end there. Just as we was talking the other night there, I think he was here the other night when we was talking about that. He said that he.
Amen.
It's a scary thing. They really think that they're doing God's will. They really think that they was in favor with God, and y'all said that they was working against Him. And that was among the Israelites he was talking to.
Amen. Amen.
He wasn't talking about the goings.
Amen.
Sons of the king. Haftorah. Okay, Haftorah. Okay. The Kohen and Yoav, the commander of the army, but he didn't summon Shlomo, your servant. As for you, my lord, the king, all Israel is watching you. They are waiting to tell them who is to sit on the throne of my lord, the king, after him. If you don't, then when my lord sleeps with his ancestors, I am my here. After coming unto the king's presence, he prostrated himself before the king while his face to the ground. Nathan said, my lord, king, did you say Adonai is to be king after me? He will sit on my throne. May y'all have a special blessing to read those.
Amen.
God in His dealing with the house of Israel, with His people, with the house of Israel, with His people, and it's a warning to try to help us out, getting caught up in something that and getting locked in on some ideas that we don't see the full picture of it. It's hard to understand something if you don't see the whole thrust of it.
Amen. Amen.
See? You know, it's just like I told y'all a little story about and it was I went to a Seventh-day Adventist church there, and the minister gave that, and that's real good, you know. And I thought about that. The little boy was out on his tricycle out there, and he ride his tricycle, and he was kind of slanted down the hill there, and he ran out to the street. And so, boy, he got on there and he rode it down to the and he got back up there, and he got on there and he headed out again. And the next time he went in there, that trike flipped over. Before he got out in the street, he flipped over and skinned his leg up and sat there. And boy, he was sitting. He was all fussing at, oh, piece of junk, you know. He got me hurt, and his father come out there and he was talking about it, and his father was praising him, was thanking him. He said, what in the world? What he didn't see, because he went on out there was a car that was coming. And that car would have been a whole lot more wipeouts.
Right.
Than that flipping over.
Uh-huh.
So he was glad that he got flipped over, got a little skin up, rather than going out. So he got mad at his dad and everything. Oh, you ain't for me. But he didn't see the whole picture of things. And that's the way we are. We don't see the whole picture of things, and so we form little things with just our little bitty locked in view. And y'all saying, hold your horses. Hold up here. You ain't in charge. I am. You can't see far enough to hit. And then you think that you. And that's the way we live there, folks. And we got to watch that.
Mercy. Help us, Father. Help us.
And the problem with that is called the eye syndrome. just was.
Uh-huh.
And you'd be surprised about who gets into that I syndrome.
Mhm.
See? A lot of God's people did those things. We're going to go here to Genesis. The 21st chapter of Genesis there. And you're going to start reading at the 9th verse. Yes.
Before you go there, can you answer one question for me?
Yeah.
What we read in the when Bathsheba.
Trying to get it now. Then in hindsight.
Everything don't work out. We don't fulfill God's promise and everything and all that. And we go on until, whoa.
Hindsight comes.
God had to bring them to the realization. That ain't none of my choice.
That ain't my plan.
That's your choice.
That's
But that
right.
ain't none of my choice.
Amen.
I told you how to, you didn't hear. Because why? You had that little tunnel vision.
Mhm.
And their tunnel vision problem was, oh,
Yeah.
think about it.
Mm-hmm.
That was their tunnel vision. They were old. Yeah.
Well, I mean, in the initial promise, Yah didn't clarify himself much for them, I guess. You will have, but he didn't say where it was coming from.
But you know that you only got one wife. You want to,
I understand.
So where you? I mean, come on.
But later on, he literally had to clarify.
Yeah, because of the fact you had two wives after that.
Yeah.
But at the time when he told him, you only had one wife.
Yeah. He said,
And that was Sarah.
your wife gonna have a
So
son.
Abraham and Sarah showed that we don't understand.
And that's why I said
That's what I said.
they misinterpreted what God said.
Right?
That's what I said. I didn't say, I didn't mean
And I know what you're saying. And the problem was, and that's what I'm saying, the problem was because their tunnel vision was their age.
That's right. That's the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of the vision.
And this is what we get to, we'll have some tunnel vision about some things there, and that'll streamline us down.
Amen. Amen.
We got a lot of our brothers in the Hebrew Israelite brothers, their tunnel visions are hatred.
Amen.
And it tunnel visions them down so they can't open their minds up.
Amen.
I was just on the last night, and then the boy I said, well, we got to get out of this tunnel vision attitude. Yeah, a lot of them, it hinders those things there. But nevertheless, what opened their eyes up? See, God started us going down the vision. They didn't see that.
But I think that they problem with faith, because when he told us, what did she do? She lied. So she really didn't have the faith. She didn't believe ya.
Well, she just thought she was too old and all those things, yeah. But on the other hand, I have to give my sister credit. Even after they brought it to her attention and everything there, she hung there with her old husband.
Yeah.
That's after the angel made it plain.
Yeah, right. Because he saw that they had got that thing all and thought, hey, what you talking about, angel? We already took care of that. And the angel said, wait a minute. You might took what you thought, but you ain't took what God promised. And let's get this thing straight. You and your husband, no, other way around. You and your wife,
Right.
Sarah.
Yeah.
This time next year.
That's right. Yeah.
Hope I ain't overstepped my bound, I'm about to say. But it's the television also on those that are in the land who are saved, so-called Jews. The Jews, they got television also because they don't recognize these brothers or us brothers as part of Israel. And that's a television thing because they believe that we have to be converted to.
Okay.
Yeah, they
That's
got television.
television.
Okay. So one justifies
Well, I'm just saying.
Tunnel vision, just because they got it, don't justify us having it.
No, I'm saying we need to call both of them out.
I don't need to call both of them out. I don't need to do that. That's what I'm saying. Because when we start doing that, we're seeking our justification. I'm not interested in that justification and those things there. I'm interested in justification, what God's telling me to reveal.
Right.
We one-sided.
See? Yes, that's right. And that side is God's side. And if you don't like God's side, then you against him.
I'm not against God.
Okay, then that's all I'm saying.
We need to be, I'm saying it.
Not we.
Balanced weight. I said we, as Israelites, have to have balanced weight. Not only is we wrong, but they're wrong also.
I don't have to do that.
I know.
I can listen to what I'm saying here.
I just want to thank you for giving Sarah some credit.
That's the point. I know. But the Bible never tells that, but he did. But and that's what I'm saying. You don't always have to do all of it. The Bible don't give her credit for that there, but it just said that next year she got pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
How did she get pregnant? If she went in her salon, you got too old. I'm too old for that there. But she didn't, even though she laughed about it and thought about it and everything. But hey, they kept up the work.
Yeah. Well, he really didn't know what he was going. He just going through the regular routine like the others. He didn't know what he was.
But they could have said no. She could have said no. You're high. But she didn't. So give her credit. Give him credit. And they stayed faithful. So I give her credit for that. You know what I'm saying? I try to be fair sometimes and look at both sides of it. Yeah. And sometimes I don't. I'm not saying I do. And because of the point of it is that sometimes it's not necessary. You know? God has not made me judge of those things. He ain't made you judge either, but you won't be judged. And it doesn't matter what judgment you come up with anyway. It's not going to change anything. And so that's the whole issue of it here. They became a judge here because of their tunnel vision, and it caused them to go wrong. And now we're still paying for that right now because of Ishmael.
Yeah.
See? Instead of have we just lied? Here's the point. It was his choice.
Yeah.
And that's what things are. Sometimes we have to be straightened out ourselves. So sometimes we can get things wrong too. You know, even though we all in favor of God and we all working with God, don't mean that you're a wicked, terrible person because you do those things. It just means that we interpreted and got it wrong. And when God see you going on and on and on like that, you have to kind of pay attention and say, hey, come here.
Well,
Next year, at this time, your wife, she's going to have a baby and stuff. What? What you going to do that for? We already took care of it. No, you ain't took care of nothing. You done something, but you ain't took care of it. You ain't took care of what I promised. You, and that's my choice.
Uh-huh.
But, that rocked on for a little while, even after she had the baby and everything. But it came to pass. We don't know how old it was, but it came to pass that she saw him out there, and Hagar was out there gloating about it. Well, yeah, I know you got yours and everything here, but mine is the firstborn, and according to the rules and regulations, God don't have to go by no rules and regulations. Yes.
Can I read?
Yeah.
This is the book of Genisis. The incident we're talking about. Because it says that Sarah and Ishmael making fun of Isaac, and that just didn't make sense. But when you read it from the book of Jasher, it gives you a totally different perspective, and then you can understand why Sarah did what she did. It says, when Isaac was 5 years old, he was sitting with Ishmael at the door. Ishmael came to Isaac and seated himself opposite of him. And he took the bow and drew it and put an arrow in it and intended to slay Isaac. And Sarah saw the act which Ishmael desired to do to her son Isaac, and it grieved her exceedingly on account of her son. And she sent for Abraham and said to him, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for her son shall not be heir with my son. But thus did he seek to do unto him this day.
Oh, so she didn't last.
Or you were trying to kill him.
So when you read it from that perspective, then you can understand, yeah, you got to.
According to all and everything there, he was the one that should have been the one that had the rights. But God, that was not God's choice. See?
Right.
And so when it came down to it, God's choice is going to win out, and who get hurt just get hurt.
Right.
Abraham got hurt by that because he wanted that. He had fell in love with Ishmael. He wanted Ishmael. So no matter how we treasure it and how we do it, and he was really troubled about it. And him and his wife, they had some good words over that. They had some words over that. God finally told him, hey, you listen to your wife to get Ishmael. You know, you listen to your wife to get her. Now listen to her now. You didn't listen to me. You listen to her to get this son. That wasn't none of my plan. I choose her. And I choose it on. And so he had to go back and, all right, wife. See? Had to succumb. He had to go. See? And had to put him out. And of course, another thing, Yah is going to see to it that what happens when he wants things to go and hard, it's going to come out exactly the way that he said, whether we can see that for or not. Yah can see that for.
Oh, yeah. Amen. Amen.
Which goes back to 1 Kings here. You know, y'all brothers, well, these guys over here, they ain't the right folks over there, and they taking over and doing all of that. Hey, let them do whatever they want to do. If they ain't the right folks and they ain't the right thing, it ain't gonna work out.
Right.
Because our God is in charge,
Right.
not you.
Amen.
That's right. That's right.
Our brothers and decided them folks ain't the white ones over there. That's what happened in the 60s. Went over there, we gonna kick them out and all that stuff, we gonna do that and all that. And they truly believe that. They truly had that attitude.
2018, they still there.
Till they got kicked out of there.
See? They was going over there, Didn't happen. They stayed there. So after the first year, they said, well, but the next year, we're going to get them next year. Well, that's all it took was that second year for me. I said, hey, reality is kicking in here. Some ain't like, hey, you supposed to be going over the kicking, we going along with you. Because why? Because I have tunnel vision.
So did y'all like have weapons and stuff? Y'all was going over there?
Y'all.
I wasn't over there, so
I'm just like wondering.
I agree with you.
I'm just wondering when they decided to come up with this plan about taking over something.
If they would
Did they like have a cache of weapons stored somewhere?
No.
Oh, they've been shot down anyway.
Not have a straight raise in a pocket.
Them Arabs who know, them Arabs that know who the real, true, original, they was going on this original Hebrew Israelite idea. And when the real ones come over there, they were just going, our cubs was going to fall down and just say, okay, come on, it's your land, come on, take it.
They expect y'all to help them.
Yeah, that happened because they showed them no what. They barely need to even live over there, didn't you?
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say.
They like to starve to death over there.
I'm just wondering, you know,
I agree with you.
well, you know, ain't nobody have a written out plan or nothing.
Well, so that's what I thought. I said, okay, well, maybe and then maybe they'll get this worked out, you know, after the year, you know, they'll be to come up with all this and got this thing right, and they're gonna march right into Jerusalem, they're gonna take over, and they're gonna do all this here, and guess what? It didn't happen. And right then, I started taking my eyes and said, whoa, I better start broadening this.
I'm wondering how you even got that vision in the first place.
I'll tell you how I got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so fierce against that, because that was that television.
Now this is what I heard. Benjamin told them that they had to go to Africa first.
Right, to purge themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
So they went over there, and they say they had money. But some kind of way he took the money and come up with an ice cream parlor. And it was started like the star at the end of that. Yeah.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
In Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they purged.
Oh, yeah, you purged themselves.
Yeah.
Ice cream, down to skin and bone. Wow.
They had it so bad, and they had it
What
so.
happened to the ice cream parlor?
They finally sold them to get to Israel. That was a brilliant idea, man. Hey, in Africa, hot Africa, to sell ice cream, man, you're gonna make big money.
How you gonna sell stuff to people ain't got no money? Bro, we talking in the 60s.
Well, it was just coming up. Kenya is a British colony.
They didn't go to Kenya. They went to Liberia.
Yeah, right.
And Liberia is still poor to this day.
Liberia still got a lot of money.
All right, we got to diverse a little bit there. I just want to show you that how we can, you know, I did, you know, and these are some of the. So when I be talking and saying these things, people think I'm talking about them, you know, because they're drawing. But I'm actually talking about myself because I know what I was thinking, how I was going to, and how those things. I had to get out of that. See? Because that was bad news. That was bad, you know. Therefore, we see that when it comes down to it, God is the one that's in charge. Even though they had Ishmael, had him there for 10 to 12 years, and drawing all that and everything there, hey, but he wasn't the right one. He wasn't the right one. Yah word is going to be fulfilled just as he said it is.
Amen.
We go to 1 Kings. Sometimes we think we can outdo. But it was Solomon also choice. God had told King David, your son Solomon is going to be the one to build my house. Adoniah, he didn't have all that. All he knows that, hey, I'm the oldest, I'm older than him, and I'm going to work this out. I'm going to do this. And it looked like he was well with it.
Yeah.
In 1 Kings, back to the same what was read there. He had set up the thing, got it all set up, set the banquet up, got everything going, announcing himself as the king and all those things. Man, he was well, and he was loved by the people. All these things, and looked like God's word was going to be a failure. Now, speaking of the situation of what you're talking about, what they do in those days there, if you brought an accusation, if you brought problems in it, and everybody knew that Solomon and his wife and those was not for him being king. You become a king, you become an enemy of the king, and guess what happens? You got killed. Her problem was because she was for her son. And I ain't gonna do nothing to you.
They might catch it.
Yeah. So that was the situation. That was the problem. You were just on the wrong side. And that's what I'm saying. You were just on the wrong side.
Well, the reason why I was wondering about that was because, you know, at that time, you know, Yah was little hands on, and for them to take such an unrighteous act just because this person was supposed to be the successor and you bump their spot, you don't have the right just to kill them off just because look at it like how does that work?
Right. Well,
I mean, I can see them being banished or something like that, but to actually outright kill them is like, okay, that's not righteous.
Well, but that's just the way they did it. In other words, they was getting rid of all those going to be a troublemaker for them and go against them. So, but as you say, God saw to it that even I don't care how close you get, and he was right there, right at the finish line. Huh?
Right at the finish line.
He right at the finish line.
All I need is for the priestly blessing.
That's all. That's it. And God blessed and everything there. And
You see, when Solomon became king, he didn't want to kill his brother.
yes.
Yeah, see, that's the point.
Right.
Yeah, right. That's the point. That was
that was it. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like your first act is to kill your brother and his mother as king.
Because they have, you know, they do get all close as they want to. And God had that whole thing set up. Gave David the strength. He was there, but David was kind of halfway in favor of Adonai too. Because why? Because it was a tough thing. Because it was a son. So he had a tough thing like Abraham had to do to make a decision. And sometimes we have tough decisions, a tough thing to do to go on what God's plan is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was saying because of this here. But then I had to start changing that stuff. I said, hey, look, that ain't seem to be working out like it is. Why is all this other stuff being fulfilled and everything with them wrong colors and all that stuff over there? And the ones over there, ain't none of that stuff happening with them. I said, I better start reassessing this here. Get out the way and accept what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
See? And it's been 30, 40 years ago. And guess what? They still
there.
Yeah, that's right.
They've actually grown.
Yeah, that's right. And not only that, but they become a part with them. Yeah. Do you know at one time they wouldn't even allow you to work for them guys? They killed somebody, they killed somebody because they went to work for them.
Now, that's just plain stupid.
I know. But they sure did. Show you how that television is bad, man. Because these ain't the right folks, and these ain't the right one, and that was their plan, that was their thought. And so, and they were gonna go get it straight. Yeah.
Did any of them have jobs when they was here in America? See, I'm just a common sense person. You know, you gonna kill somebody because they went to work for them, but yet you work for people when you was here in America.
Right.
What sense is that?
These people had money, and they had money to go over there. They weren't poor folk that went over there.
No. I ain't true.
They had to have money to go over there. Somebody had to
They had to hustle.
That's not true.
I'm like,
And I will tell you, I will tell you later what they did to get that money. I'm not gonna tell you now because I'm on air. I would, but you ask me later, and this is from horse's mouth for those that know and was a part of that the group that told me all this information. The point I was trying to get to is for us to understand these things here. We cannot make certain proclamations and things and think that it's going to change what God has said. When God makes a choice, it's going to work out just what he says. The best thing for us to do is lay wait and move at the right time. Adonijah had did all those things there. And now God come in and told the priest and all that, here's what you do. When you get ready to go do it, they'd have jumped up. Hey, we're going to go over there. Adonijah had all the power. He had all of the people there. They'd have slaughtered them off. They had to wake on what happened. Go wake up King. Have him come on down there. And they had them planned. And when they get ready to do that anoint everything, you coming in, you read that story, you read it all. We're not going to go there and do that. But that's just part of it and all those things there. And oh yeah, they would have tried their best to kill them because they knew they lived. Because they knew what was right too. See? But
the reason why I asked, I'm like, well, how do you skirt thou shalt not murder?
Oh,
that's the one that I was wondering. How do you skirt that? Because you have no justification for killing them.
You my enemy.
Yeah.
And that's all it takes.
Okay.
You my enemy.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Your father spoke with the Most High. This is not.
Yeah. And therefore, this is why had to get rid of it. The reason when we see that something is a threat, as you read in the book of Joshua, he felt like that was a threat to him because he's old and he saw he was being on, and so he was saying, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna get you out the way. I'm gonna get you out the way. Look what happened to Cain and Abel. What happened? Because y'all accepted his offering and he got favor with him and he got, hey, he killed him.
Instead of saying, hey, what did you do to get favor?
Yeah. Right. Now that's what should have been done. Mm-hmm. Should have been, hey, brother, come here. Let's talk. I went up there and I did so and so and I did that, and I didn't get no favor and everything. Tell me what you did to get the favor. Instead, I'm gonna kill you because you got favor and everything. And then he ain't gonna have no choice but to turn to me then. Somehow, boy, brain, I don't know what it is.
That's sin.
Yeah. But didn't y'all came to him?
Went into the office. Come into my office here. I said, Lord, I done messed up. I knew I messed up.
Hindsight, then.
You remember like 2 weeks ago?
What you need, boss?
God taught me a lesson. Yeah. Okay. So I'm very careful now. Hey, you never know. You know? And so, and here's the thing over there. It don't take that much to be nice to people anyway. Right? A lot of being out of shape and everything. Let's make sure we're making the right choice because let me tell you something, God is not locked in hours. Just like those same boys in closing, and this happened among us. And when I mean us, I told the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay. They thought Joseph, there was no way God was going to choose Joseph to be in his position that he was in. You mean to tell me all of us going to have to bow to you? You ain't even the firstborn. You ain't even close to being the firstborn.
You almost the last one.
Yeah, right, right. And we're going to all have to bow to you. Right. Y'all know the story. We're going to talk about it as we go for them. So for all them things, let's be careful how we get so finite with these ideas and these thoughts and everything, because it could be against God. Can choose up who He wants.
That's true, right?
And who are you to say otherwise? Wind up against Him. Okay? So I've changed my whole attitude about it. In closing for today, Yah will fulfill His promise. But we got to know for sure, we know understand all what His promise is. Just like for, and take that in too. If they write about that, hey, we'll just get swept right on in with it. Yeah. Yeah.
Deliver them out.
Yeah.
But we'll see on that end. Okay. We're going to close for today. This is our Parasha for this week here. We trust that Yah will bless you and keep you in those things there. And sometimes we have to take a bitter pill because things don't have to be the way we see it. But remember, God is the one. See? The good part about it is, faithful, we are going to be a part with it. And that's what I reside on. I said, I'm still the Hebrew Israelite. I'm still at this here. I got to stay in favor with it. Lord, if that's your choice, then that's my choice. And that's why I've left it at. See? And when they come in with that attitude, one with John on and all that, I tell them, you're in the wrong house. Y'all know that's what I tell them. Y'all been there when I tell them, you're in the wrong house. See? I'm going and teaching the people something else here. That's going to be for living. As our oath is, how should we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? I forget the Yerushalayim. Let my right hand forget her time. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Yerushalayim above my chief joy. Psalm 137, verses 5 and 6. Shalom, shalom. And if God's will, we will see you next week. Okay. Well, now